In this week's Health and Wellness, Megan Gilroy finishes her conversation with the intuitive medium, Lea M Hill.
There are days when I wish I had a crystal ball to see into the future, but in lieu of that, I will take my intuition as a guide. Lea M Hill is a psychic and an intuitive medium who helps people heal and gain clarity and direction in their life. And today we are talking to Lea about whether anyone can be a psychic. So thank you so much, Lea, for talking.
Thanks, Megan. That's great.
This is an interesting question, whether everyone has psychic abilities. So tell me, what's your opinion?
I say yes.
Okay.
I say yes. I think everyone does have psychic abilities. We might not acknowledge them, or we might get psychic information and kind of discount it and go, oh, that's just coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence, but you know, we might say, oh, that's just something, or sometimes we say it's mother's intuition. You know, a lot of times mothers know something about their children, or they know when they're sick or there's something wrong, but they don't have any other, other way of knowing why, or they don't know how they know.
Right.
And I say we all can be, we all have those psychic abilities, and we can all expand them and use them as much as we want.
So we discount them a little bit, not knowing we're using them. How would you explain the difference between being psychic and intuitive, or is that really the same thing?
The way I define being psychic is being able to interpret energy. I call it reading energy, and it can be the energy of a person, of a space, of a situation. It can be just getting a knowing or a feeling, or sometimes people see very clearly in their mind's eye. And I tend to hear a lot, so I hear like words, and that for me is being psychic. It just means that I can interpret that and say, okay, this is what it means to me, or this is the message to me that I can then pass on to someone. And but I do feel like the difference between being psychic and intuitive, for me, just means that I also connect with angels and ascended masters and guides on the other side, which I believe anyone can do as well. It's just, just a step in the process of opening up to your own intuition.
What would someone want to look for or start noticing if they're curious if they have some psychic abilities?
Well, I do hear that a lot of people see repetitive numbers a lot. They look at the clock and it's 444, or they're driving down the street and there's a license plate that has 444 or something. When there's a repetitive, or sometimes it's just a word or numbers or a phrase or something, then I could say, yeah, it's beyond coincidence that, every morning you're waking up and it's 444 when you look at the clock. Then I would say, yeah, when it's repetitive like that. The other thing is I tell people it's intuitive information or psychic information when you're not thinking about it at all, and then all of a sudden, you're doing the dishes, and all of a sudden, your friend's image, pops into your head, and you're like, wow, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about doing the dishes. Maybe I should give her a call, or maybe I should send her an email to see how she's doing. So that's how I would say.
Something kind of unexpected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so how would someone start developing this ability if that's something they're interested in?
I recommend a process of meditation, and this can be in a group. There are a lot of meditation groups around right here in Marblehead and in the surrounding areas. You can also do it alone. I do notice a lot of people that say, oh, well, I can't empty my mind of thoughts. It's too hard for me. My mind is racing. And that's true. You don't have to, because I have trouble with that myself too. So I just use, you can download a lot of free meditations right from the internet that are guided, so you don't have to worry about emptying your mind of thoughts. It brings you through a journey of, a beautiful meadow, and you walk over to the ocean, and it leads you in that way. So you're still getting that meditative experience, but you don't have to just sit there and try to stare at a candle if you're not comfortable with it.
It gives your mind something to do. So how would that help in terms of your psychic or intuitive abilities?
Because when you're in a meditative state, it's called the alpha state, and in that alpha state of your brain waves, that's where we bypass our thinking process, our head process. And what we do is, the way I interpret it is opening ourselves up to spirit. So it's like taking all of that junk that's in the way of things like, oh, I have to buy groceries, and I have to do my taxes, and I have to, buy food for the kids and all that, and putting all that aside and just being open to whatever spirit has for you in that moment. And what you find is you might not get that message when you're in meditation, but when you're out during your day, you know, and when you're seeing repetitive numbers or words, or, you know, all of a sudden you go, oh, well, I didn't realize it, but that was probably intuitive information I received.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, great advice.
Thank you.
Exciting, because it really can make a difference in people's lives.
It really can. Yes, it has for me.
Yeah. Well, thank you
So.
for talking with me.
Great. Thanks, Megan.
So if you'd like some more information on being psychic and intuitive, you can go to Lea's website, which is leamhill.com. And I hope you join us next time on Health and Wellness.